and welcome to week 2 of Emerald League. I am Obongo, and today I'm going to be joined on the caster desk by Itaconic and Solar Rain. You guys want to say hello?
It's actually crazy how your voice changes in like a millisecond
Yeah,
from
that's
like talking normal and like the cast. It's actually pretty entertaining.
It's called professionalism. I don't know
it
if
is
you heard it.
professionalism.
Yeah, it's
We
professional.
strive for
Holy.
a degree of professionalism here on the Emerald cast. And today our streamed matchup is going to be Pity's Pirates versus Yo Daddy, both currently 0-0-1 tied for first or sixth place, whatever you want to make of that for yourselves. And I just want to first start out, how do you guys think these two teams match up? Who do you think is going to be the difference makers in this matchup?
Well, I think the matchup to watch is definitely mid lane, Pity and Bongo Cat, aka Frozen Forever. Longtime rivals. Go at it every single season to see who's the best. Although I think we already know who it is. And in general, I think this matchup will be decided by the junglers. I'm not gonna flame, but I would say they're pretty mid. So whoever is less mid today should win.
Anything else you want to add on to that, Rain?
Yeah, the more I look at this matchup, the more I cry. Uh I think uh I think it's a 2-0. I ain't gonna cap.
Who do you think it'll be a
What?
2-0 for?
I think Pity's Pirates clears.
You're cracking.
Just so I can get some like, let's say if the other side wins, then they're just gonna flaunt how good they are in general chat anyways. They're gonna suck themselves off. Like it's a 2-0. That's all I gotta say.
Think it's a 2-0? I think it's a pretty easy 1-1.
I think it'll be a 1-1. I'm trying to remember what I did for my prediction. Did I say 1-1 for this matchup? I think I did.
You did.
I think
Yeah,
it's a
you
1-1.
did.
I think it's actually going to be pretty close between the two teams. I do think that each team has at least like one pretty strong lane in just terms of like their player strength. So it'll be kind of interesting to see, like, I guess the more weak-sided players, how well they can play up against the, I guess, like the stronger players. And I think for me, like, probably the biggest mismatch is going to be in the bot lane in terms of Arctic versus Stank. I think Stank has been playing pretty well. I'm curious to see how Pity's Pirates are going to be planning to draft against them, because pretty much everybody here has at least like a one trick of some kind on Yo Daddy, almost across the board for all three carry roles at least. So I'm not sure how I'm not really sure what they're going to target, or like where they want to look to try to limit some of those champions as well. I think if I had to make some predictions before we do go to draft, we're just waiting for another one more player to enter into the lobby here. I think probably targeting Krabs, Urgot, Soul for Bongo Cat, and then maybe, I'm not sure, Aphelios or Kog'Maw. Which do you think? I think Aphelios probably, but it kind of depends for Stank as well.
No hole breaker or riot.
No Hole Breaker, true, yeah.
I mean, I would
He
say
doesn't build
definitely.
it. FF.
I'd say you definitely ban Stinks Affiliates. It's actually kind of crazy on it. Looks a little mid on all the other champs on this Kog'Maw.
Man, do you remember Stank on the demons? That guy was cracked.
I remember his Karthus. I want to see him bust that one out.
Oh my god, he did play Karthus. I forgot.
Yeah, we two banned him.
Oh yeah, we banned Kog'Maw and Aphelios because they're like, this guy's gonna 1v9 us.
But the benefit of this
Oh,
team is that they're all one tricks. So who are getting banned out?
True. You only get 3 bans in the first round, but you have 5 potential players you have to be able to ban. But it looks like we are going to be starting to get ourselves into draft here. First ban away for Pity's Pirates is that Aphelios, like we were talking about, and we'll see what Yo Daddy is going to respond with. And I know for Pity's Pirates, there are a couple players that you could potentially target. I think that Pity on East Pity himself on the Ari is probably one of his most effective champions, so you could look to see if that could be taken away by Yo Daddy here in this first phase. We'll see what they want to ban. He did go for that B1 Vex last week, and it did pop off pretty hard. So we'll see that Zillion pick for Harvey Edition. Another pretty notable pick, I believe, for him as well. He's got a little bit of history on that champion. But so far, draft looking like it's going pretty much according to what we thought. The Aphelios and the Urgot banned away, and there's the Ari as well. So pretty much just a battle of the one-trick bans so far. And Anivia is going to be the third and final ban for Pity's Pirates. YoDaddy responds with a Kindred ban for Rexcat. So now we'll get to see where these two teams' priorities lie in the draft so far.
XP1.
It's not going to be a XP1, sadly, this time.
Wukong! Where the fuck does he play Wukong?
It's a steal because Supreme Chris mains Wukong. It's his one trick. There's like 200 games on it last season.
Nah.
Yep, so it looks like it's going to be a denial pick for the Wukong for Rexcat here. See what they respond. Looks like that's Kog'Maw for Stank. That's kind of what we would all assume he's going to pivot to once the Aphelios is taken away. It's going to be the Borkless Kog'Maw, which, well, he must know something better than I do for that champion. So we'll see if that works out for him this time, and going to see what else they prioritize. They could go for a jungle pick here for Supreme, or they could potentially look for a support to pair with that Kog'Maw as well.
Who do you think's rated higher, Supreme or Rexcat?
I'll say Rexcat. I think Rexcat also has like a better pool because he plays Zac. His Graves is pretty crazy. He beat me once with it.
Yeah, nobody can do that to you.
Yeah, but pretty obvious pickup from YoDaddy, Lulu, Kog'Maw. Not very surprising. Will he go Disco Kog'Maw now with Cleanse Ghost again?
I am curious to see if he does run the Ghost Cleanse back again, because that was pretty fun to watch last time. But yeah, good support pairing, like you were saying. The Braum is going to be here as a response. So that's an interesting pick for Pity's Pirates. So curious to see what ADC they're going to play with that Braum. There are a handful of different things. You could go for something like a hyper carry alongside it with Jinx. You could potentially try to do something like a Tristana if you want to all in it. Ashe is also a pretty highly contested pick, and there it is, going to be locked in. So Ashe Braum, pretty strong, just overall 2v2 bot lane right there. We'll see how they're able to pilot that. And on the side of YoDaddy, getting the R3 Victor in there before the second wave of bans, so picking that up. So now I'll expect to see probably some mid lane bans for YoDaddy, and then potentially jungle, maybe top lane bans on the side of Pity's Pirates as well as this draft goes on. Looks like Syndra is going to be the first taken away from Pity. We'll see what they respond with here.
Probably gonna be Syndra Vex bans. And then Pity picks the Anivia. How base would that be?
They already banned Anivia.
Oh, sugar honey iced tea.
Jeez.
I mean, you gotta bend the Anivia.
Why?
Lissandra. I guess Pity does tend to like Lissandra more. But I feel like he's just gonna pick Vex here. A pretty squishy team comp so far.
Yeah, it definitely does look like a good Vex angle. If they want to play the scaling game too, ASOL against the Victor is actually pretty strong, and it provides a pretty decent amount of zone control against something like a Cog Lulu as well. Pretty hard to walk up into that. I'd say Victor is probably like one of the harder champions to actually punish the ASOL in that lane. But yeah, he's probably going to just pivot towards that Vex. So far, 3 pretty squishy champions, pretty easy to follow up with the Wukong and the Ashe ulti as well. A lot of different tools of initiation that they have for them right here. Actually, Hecarim is going to be picked up for Supreme here, so pretty strong early game power for that jungler. How does that matchup go against Wukong, do you think, usually, Ida?
That's a crazy pick, but that's a terrible matchup.
True. I was
mean-
just thinking the same thing.
I'll say he out farms them and like up tempos him on the map, but in team fights, as long as they focus him when he gets knocked up, should be pretty easy one shot, especially if you're going the lethality build. And yep, especially if he's
It
plays in
gets
big
bad.
Vex, yeah,
Mhm.
he's gonna get so fucking giga shit on. It's gonna be yeah. Ashe go next for Hecarim.
So would you recommend him to build like maybe a tankier version of that Hecarim build, or do you still think just going for the full lethality one shot is a better option for them?
I mean, if I was in this game with these players, I would go lethality, but I would go like Trinity Force into tank items, especially with new Starrick since it got buffed. Probably pretty good this matchup.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he doesn't really line up with his team. He wants to dive, but his team wants to kite back and stay in the back line.
I think it's
Yeah, I
a
think-
banger if you know that he's gonna pick Vex and you're like, I'm gonna blind pick Hecarim here. Really good.
That
Yeah,
is
I was
some
gonna say
balls.
even just maybe sacking that jungle matchup and picking something like I don't know, like a Sejani or just like something as a tankier frontline could potentially help them out as well. But looks like that top lane matchup for Kumi and Crab is going to be the Set versus the Jax. So I'm not 100% sure how that matchup goes. I would assume that's relatively Jax favored though as time goes on.
Yeah, I think our levels, it's like skill matchup. I think also with items in time, Jack's out skills. Yeah, if this Hecarim was any tank like Sejuani or Maokai, that'd been a very easy team fight team for Yo Daddy. His Vex is pretty bad into tanks.
All right, so let's take a quick look before as they're kind of in the lobby and picking the champions to go into the loading screen. Who do you guys think has the better team comp? Who do you think will be able to
Left.
win this game one, just based off of
Left.
the champions that we see on each side?
Pity's Pirates.
Yeah, I'd give this one to Pity's Pirates as well.
Man, it's like I predicted a 2-0 or something. These people can't fucking draft
This
on the
is
right
game
side.
one. Okay, calm down.
Oh yeah,
Haven't
they
even
get
gotten
blue
to see
side the
them play
second
their
time.
champions yet.
Exactly.
But
Listen, Sab is gonna lose on Victor, and he's gonna pick Ace-Hole. Okay, it's not that difficult.
yeah,
He could
really.
have picked Aesol.
Yeah, he's gonna do it after though. After he realizes Victor's not enough. He's got busted the big guns of Ace-Hole, where
Yeah,
you can
you're
just
a hater.
die 10 times and he scales up. 3k HP mage, max percent HP damage, AoE stun. How can
All
you
right,
lose on
well,
this,
Says
man?
the sun.
we have some fighting words on the casting desk right here. So as they start picking their champions and get loaded into game, we're gonna hop it over to a short intermission while we wait for that 3-minute spectator delay. But do not go anywhere. We will be right back for game one of Pity's Pirates versus Yo Daddy after this break. All right, welcome back, everybody. We are getting ourselves into the first game between Pity's Pirates and Yo Daddy. And on the blue side, we have Pity's Pirates. It's the Kumi on the set, Rex Cat on Wukong, East Pity piloting that Vex in the mid lane, Arctic Cyanide on Ash, and the Harvey edition on Braum.
And for red team, we got Crabadabadoo on the Jax. We got Supreme Chris on Hecarim, we have Bongo Can Victor, and we have Stank on the Kog'Maw, and Ethereal Images on Lulu.
And it looks like we're actually getting a little bit of a level 1 right here. Hecarim coming out of the Dragon Pit. Let's see. Are they going to commit the flash? Doesn't look like it. So that early level 1, actually, I feel like one of the only real level 1 plays that we've seen so far. I don't remember seeing any during that first week. So trying to attempt a little bit something different here. Try to get a summoner out or something. That will get spotted out. Looks like the blue buff for Pity's Pirates is going to be warded by Jax. But across the board, it looks like junglers may be starting opposite sides, both at the red buff here. So how would you expect the early pathing to go for these two junglers, Ida?
Well, looking at the lanes, mid is pretty even. Not that much gang setup on both sides. But if you're Hecarim, it is kind of nice to cover them, but Wukong should be looking for the top, so you should be counter-measuring top, as is the most volatile lane, as in Jax into set, double bruiser. It goes really one-sided depending on who gets the lead. We do see that Rexcat just as red and going straight to his top side, so he does want to look for an early gank top side. And with a red pet, well, Hecarim would just be pathing towards bots. I don't think that's the adequate way to path to bot, because most of the time the Kog'Maw Lulu will be pushing in. Ash Braum kind of just stays back waiting for the jungler. So unless they know Wukong's going to be there, you should only be looking to match. But since they saw him clear the bot ward with his sweeper, he should know that he's going top right now. Crab is pushing lane. Is not warded yet. He did use his on blue buff.
Yeah, he is spotted out right now, and they do ping him. So they do know that Rexcat is top. It looks like he's going for potentially a 3 camp into maybe walking top, unless he wants to just path back down to Wolves. But we'll see what he wants to do. Yeah, he doesn't have that ward because he used it earlier on the blue buff. But As of right now, like you were saying, that Cog Lulu lane just kind of naturally getting the shove in bot lane. Victor also getting a bit of priority in that mid lane. But yeah, we'll kind of see. Looks like Rixcat is going to be going back down. A little bit of auto trading back and forth here in the bot lane, but bot lane should hit level 3 here pretty soon. So I would assume that Hecarim's going to get the priority for the bot scuttle. Looks like Wukong is just going to walk back towards top side. Maybe look for a little bit of a wrap around here into mid lane. Does come out with the gank. Victor is walking back to try to avoid it. Does get his flash out, though, in that trade. So successful gank for that Wukong early on to get the mid laner flash. And that's a potential target now once he hits level 6 and Vex does as well. It should be pretty easy gank setup for them if they're able to get back to that lane.
Yeah, it was a pretty cheeky flash prediction from East Pity throwing the E over the wall. Because Bungle Cat does not flash into it. Just stutter steps, dodges everything like the pro he is.
Oh my gosh. I'm watching this guy miss abilities on abilities.
We do see the Hecarim going for top scuttle. Wukong looking to match, did not go for the bottom one. Although the Vex does not have any mana.
Yeah, Vex not having much mana kind of makes it look like it's not going to be too much of an issue for them to be able to contest that. Also, Set kind of getting pushed in and Jax having that prio. Looks like they might just try to sit here. Oh, actually, maybe even going for a re-gank right now. They do get it, but they do land the fear. They might be able to actually pull off this kill. Both going to be auto-attacking. Rexcat flashes forward past the gravity field to be able to secure that first blood. Good on them to punish it, but it back up in the top lane. Hecarim is ghosting in to try to take out the Set, but does not actually execute on that to get him knocked back out from under his tower. So a successful gank in that mid lane, punishing the flash a lot sooner actually than I thought that would happen. But now Wukong's able to secure that bot scuttle. Hecarim takes the top scuttle, and it looks like the junglers are going to go for their first recall and reset here now.
Yeah, pretty good gank angle from Rexcat there, dubbing over the wall. Usually a little bit too late, but I mean too early, as in he had not seen the Victor W. But they pay off when still has flash. Victor doesn't. And you see that Hecarim does try to counter with a play top, but so we're just too close to his tower. And Hecarim generally wants to be coming from behind, knocking into the team, rather than just pushing you to a wall.
And crucially, Vex having just enough mana for that E to be able to get the fear on Victor. So even though he didn't have flash, he wasn't able to just be able to walk out of it. But now junglers are continuing their recall, or their clear. Rexcat is actually recalled. He does have that Caulfields now. Hecarim's still on the map, clearing from top to bottom. Here we'll see when he wants to take that reset. He is going to do that right now. But that does give Wukong some opportunity to maybe look for an invade on the Gromp that's respawning. I believe bot lane's pink ward in that river push does see him, and he's going a little bit aggressive with that Bio-Arcane Barrage down there, but it's going to turn into a gank. Wukong coming in, Braum passive ticked, one more auto, not going to get it onto that Lulu, so saving themselves potentially having a death there, but does still get the Lulu flash. Krabadabadoo all-inning the Set on this top lane. Grandmaster's Might popped, he does flash forward, and he's going to finish off the Kumi. He's getting that solo kill up there when Set was not level 6.
Yeah, I did not need a flash. Holy.
Krabadabadoo just abusing the fact that he zoned Set off of a couple of XP, so he had the level 6 advantage. Now are looking for a dragon fight. It seems they are setting up a lot earlier dragon than you think, but might also just be dancing around it.
Yeah, Ashe is a little bit low, but it looks like they're actually catching out the Victor here. One more auto attack from the Braum passive does go down. Rexcat jumps forward on that Wukong. One more auto. Vex is able to secure that kill with her Q. Now 1-0 on that Vex, 1-0 on the Wukong, and they might still try to look for this dragon. We'll see. Ashe was pretty low from that earlier play, still is about half health, but Set is walking up to Jax here. Looks like it's going to be a fight in the river right now. It'll kind of come down to whether he lands that Haymaker or not. Does have that level 6 as well, where Jax does not. That's still on cooldown. But yeah, like you were saying, that little bit of zoning from the top lane XP did make the difference in that 1v1 up there. It looks like things have calmed down a little bit now, with both junglers kind of going back into their jungle. We'll see. It looks like maybe...
I'm surprised they didn't look for Dragon after killing the Victor, as the Lulu was pretty low HP. No Victor. The Hecarim was pretty zoned off. It should have been an easy Dragon, as the Victor was kind of lost in his tourist mode. Just walking around, wandering. not knowing he was going the dark alleyway.
Jax does pop the ulti again. Hecarim's actually up here too, and they're able to take down Set for a second time now. Supreme piloting his way up to that top lane again, and you know, I think part of that dragon take was maybe just the Ashe being a little bit too low. Maybe they weren't as confident to be able to start that. But yeah, I would assume that they would maybe try to at least start that, especially getting the Lulu's flash out. But this is definitely a 2v2 angle for this bot lane. Does land.
Kog'Maw does like double sums.
Yeah, able to get the ghost out from Kog'Maw here. And we'll see what they're able to turn around. Oh, wow, it's a lot of damage.
Oh!
Okay, the instant ulti.
Flash.
I just realized Kog'Maw doesn't have cleanse.
Yeah, the one game you should have gone Disco Kog'Maw.
Yeah, it would be that lack of cleanse would be pretty helpful for him against the Ashe Braum and even the Vex.
He wouldn't need to flash that.
Now, if you're Pity's Pirates, you are just spamming this dragon, as you have all the pride in the world. You all have 6, except for Ashe ulti. You have no sums. Should be uncontested. Hecarim is looking for Sheen, probably Divine Thunder, considering that's a Ruby Crystal. So he's going to look for a more Bruiser build. I wouldn't say Thunder is probably the best. Let's say Trinity Force. Most of it got buffed. But we'll see what he builds after that. So you could go for Sterix, probably the best, since he also got buffed this patch, but you also just go for Frozen Heart for the mana and CDR. Really nice one, Hecarim.
Yeah, it looks like he wants to go for this Herald, but actually pivoting onto the Vex, but actually loses about half his health right there. I don't think it'll matter, though, because Wukong is walking out of base. Maybe they're able to stall it. Oh, but Jax actually jumps in, hits the Blast Plant to bring him over, so that's going to force Kitty's flash from the Vex right there. Pretty heads-up play by Crab. Probably be able to secure them that Herald, but actually Wukong is coming back in. They have brought Braum up here, too.
Yeah, they do want to look to contest.
Set ulti going in, able to bring him down. A lot of damage going out here, and actually they are able to turn back around because they do have the Braum coming in here. Ashe being able to hold herself down in the bot lane, but overall a one fight on the side of Pity's Pirates, but Hecarim was able to secure that Rift Herald right there.
I'm not gonna lie, my brain broke in that team fight, seeing how bad it
was.
was.
A lot of stuff was going back and forth there. I was trying to figure out who was going to come out on top of that, but I think this bot lane being able to trade back 2 plates against the Ashe, that's at least going to even out the gold once the Rift Herald is dropped, which is good. Well, actually, Braum is coming up here, looking for it, gets the tag on him, but does exhaust the Victor, and they're able to secure the kill. Doesn't have that's any ultimate because of the earlier fight for that Herald, so again, just kind of punishing the Victor for overstaying at the low HP, but you know, this bot lane is still getting quite a number of plates on them.
Yeah, he just got like 2 free plates just for that whole play. Yeah,
but they're looking at punish right here. Ooh, close Ashe Herald. You don't have Wukong ulti, but you do get the stun. He has no stun, so it should be free killing Kog'Maw. Probably won't get Lulu. She gets to walk away with her life.
Yeah, a lot of CC right there. They do get Wukong's flash for that play, though, so they will not have that for a certain amount of time to use as an initiation tool, so they'll have to get a little bit more creative. But in this top lane, Jax already has that Divine Thunder and is really starting to hit a lot here. He's trying to take a little bit of
money. You see that? Look at that. Holy. It's a Pity versus Crab right now. Bungo is not that far behind in gold, but he's kind of irrelevant, not gonna lie.
He does have a pretty decent CS lead. He is about 25 or so CS above. So farming pretty well in that mid lane. But yeah, the Herald is able to go down, takes mid lane plates, so potentially second Herald could break that mid tower going forward. We'll see. I think as time is going to go on, though, this top lane matchup might need a little bit of rescuing because that Jax is pretty hard accelerated with the Sunder already at 12 minutes, and he's just going to keep going in right here to fight. Dodges the Haymaker. Good sidestep right there, but needs to go forward. Jax actually jumping in here, trying to get that 1v1. Flashes forward again and picks up his second solo kill now in this top lane. And as I was just explaining, this Jax is really starting to run away with this top lane matchup.
I guess
I don't know why he keeps fucking doing that. I don't know why he keeps flashing for the auto. Like, he can just chase him down with cooldowns.
Vex ulti goes in, but Nice counter strike evasion to dodge and stun out the Vex as she lands. So able to get away from that gank. No Vex ultimate for a short time here. And Victor continuing to hit that mid wave, get himself some plates and some extra gold to catch up. But so far, it's a pretty even matchup across the board. I think the top lane is pretty big lopside, but Ash Arrow goes forward. The forward, they are going to try to tag him with Braum passive with Polymorph right here, and that's actually going to be turned around by the Kog'Maw Lulu. They just have to kind of run these guys down as they don't have very many cooldowns. Flashes away from the Braum. Ghost popped by Stank, double summoners by Ethereal, but they pretty heavily win that 2v2 right now, even with no mythics completed on either side.
Yeah,
I
let's
think
say
Stank could have flushed in right there and like cleaned
he
up.
didn't have flash.
Yeah, his flash just came up.
Yeah, so pretty big mistake from blue side bot lane, going for the person who has double sums instead of the person that has 0.
That is true. They could have looked for the arrow onto Stank instead. He wouldn't have been able to dodge that out. This still have Ghost, but this is a bit risky potentially. Yeah, Stank flashes forward. Oh, but gets blocked by the Braum shield. And he's actually going to go down. They're going to be able to take down Lulu, you would assume, here too. And wow, that was honestly, I don't know if you guys remember like LCS for that one play from Biofrost, jumping in with the Braum shield to save with like one auto attack left.
Yeah.
That looked almost identical to that play. And as this is all going on, Dragon is up. Oh, but this little invade into the bot side jungle is able to get Hecarim's Ghost, so you would assume now that they're able to get this second dragon for themselves. Pity's Pirates trading blows back and forth, but they are able to secure these early 2 dragons, so we'll kind of see where YoDaddy's priorities lie once that 3rd dragon and potentially Soul and Soul Point are going to come onto the map here. If they're going to bring that Jax down from top lane, or if they're going to try to keep playing towards that split push condition. Oh, but he's actually going to jump in again here. That looks like he's in a little bit of trouble trying to throw back under the tower. Does get his flash, but I think he's going to continue to dive here. Jumps in. Haymaker does go a little bit opposite direction, but Krabadabadoo, a 3rd solo kill now up in this top lane, really kind of keeping his team together here from just this top lane pressure. And potentially, oh, he's actually going to be brought up here by Vex. Oh, they didn't actually jump in.
Oh,
that was pretty close, yeah.
Okay, he's going to
all kind with the revenge TP. Does spend both sums for nothing.
The
He's not gonna take him down with the Liandry's, just barely not ticking at the end. But honestly, a pretty good flash by Pity to avoid the initial instance of damage from Victor ulti right there. That was the difference between him living and dying in that play. So a lot of plays going on around this top side as the second Herald is about to spawn in 15 minutes. We'll see where these teams want to go. A lot of ulti still up on the side of Pity's Pirates, whereas a decent number are missing here, the Victor ulti and that Jax ulti specifically. So they're going to be bringing... Oh, Ashar going in, Pity jumping in with his, but Hecarim coming in for the counter play. They're trying to dive Stank. They do get the pull Braum passive down, but they're not able to quite finish him off. His X jumps in, gets immediately exhausted by Braum, and
I know that feeling.
Might be a little bit of trouble here. Wukong going in, ulting onto this Victor, and they're going to be able to finish him off on the rotation. But I think Jax wants a little bit more. He's going to continue to go. Grandmaster Arms popped, and he's going to be
where's his team?
Down.
Absolutely 1v3 and no health.
Back and forth. Set is able to finish off Lulu under the tower with that Haymaker. And
actually a clusterfuck.
That was so close on every part, but YoDaddy just losing these fights just by the slimmest of margins. Crab going in, but immediately brought out by Set and immediately turned around. Stank going forward, not able to finish them off. Everyone is living with 1 HP on the side, but when Hecarim's here now, they're going to try to go in, but can they finish him off? Stank is so close. Does get that last ulti down, and he's still got the Ghost. He can go with his W up again. Slowed by the Braum Q just barely enough to keep him from chasing down and finish that off. Man, those were some really, really close fights, but at the end of the day, Rexcat is able to secure that second Rift Herald for them, and it is a winning fight for Pity's Pirates there.
Holy shit,
feels
can
like
you guys calm down?
Together. Yeah.
Really
Everyone's playing together. Everyone's just like doing their own thing in the sides right now. Just like, yo, I could kill this guy, and then they die.
Yeah, I get what Crab was trying to do, going for a hero play, considering his whole team's behind, trying to go for the 1v5 highlight reel, but they still do have all their spells up, even though they killed all his team. So I do feel bad for him. His team's just losing all around. He's solo killing, but I think he should just be looking to split push, which is why he's bot lane right now. Although he should be careful for things they do like this, like 3-manning him when nothing's on the map. So he should just be a free kill if he is not careful enough.
He is kind of walking into enemy territory right now. He's surrounded by 5 potential players, but looks like they're going to just take a little bit of reset. We got the dragon in a minute and a half here, and looks like they want to set up on this bot side jungle for their vision. They are pinged out right now. I think they did see that Hex Gate go through. Everyone's going to be taking their resets right now before Dragon spawns. Right now, we should have... Oh, yeah, he's going for that 1v1 play like you were talking about in the side lane, but he's going to get collapsed on right now. Gets his flash away, but Google does come out. That Cyclone going to hit him on the second time around for the knockup. Counter-Strike going down, buffered by the set ulti, and they're going to continue to freeze him down. It does look like they'll be able to finish him off here. They do catch him out right before that dragon spawns in a minute. He should be back, but they're going to drop the Rift Herald down here. But all while that's going on, it looks like they're going to give a bit of a counter push in that top lane to try to get that second tier inner. Don't know if that Victor by himself has enough pushing power, though, to be able to do that. Looks like he's going to get responded with. So I think overall it's going to be a 1-for-2 turret trade, actually going in with the Vex ulti. Not
just poking with ulti.
Yeah, he's poking with his full combo. I mean, they can get a third charge here down onto this bot tower as well. So right now it's a 1-for-2 trade just from that mid lane tower. They are trying to go for 2, but I think they're gonna get collapsed on here in the mid lane. No Vex ulti available for them. No Wukong Cyclone. They don't really have a lot of tools to actually catch them out here.
Ashhold
does hit. Hecarim is in the middle of the team, but I think Stank's gonna be able to kite this one out. He does have to flash from ulti going down. Oh, and another flash from Arctic as well. Doesn't want to get caught in that gravity field. I do think this is winning for Bowie. Crab is just jumping in 1v5, but I think it's going to be okay as he gets actually taken down a lot of return fire damage here, but Stank is free hitting over the wall. No one is able to get to him as he just continues to fire down with that Bioarcane Barrage. Seb flashes forward on that Victor, able to finish off the Braum. And it looks like a bit of a winning fight. 2v2. 2-4-2 rather for Yo Daddy, but they're actually gonna be able to finish this off. Victor's got that Q upgrade, does get him with the Siphon Strike auto attack, and actually gonna get 2 right here, taking down 2 on the back end of Pity's Pirates, and gonna be able to secure that first dragon for them, the first Hex Tech of potentially many now. Yo Daddy able to fight back, and Krabadabadoo with a pretty insane 1v5 jump in right there to try to stall out for the rest of his team to come there.
Bro, all these players are stun locking me with these team fights, I swear. Most atrocious decisions.
Yeah. Set was out and then he's like, don't worry, Pity, I'll die with you. Don't worry, I got you.
Yeah, that's actually an insane gauge from Crab. The biggest balls I've seen. Queuing to 5 people when his team's pretty far behind. No Hecarim multi either. But surprisingly, they survived in that corridor with all the AoE damage on part of Pity's Pirates.
So you think it's the shot caller on the Yo Daddy?
Probably Crab right now.
I would assume Crab, yeah, probably. I think that was really important though, because we had talked about they'd used all their stuff on him. Oh, actually Cyclone going in, forcing the Hecarim ulti out as well. Ash ulti not gonna connect, goes a little bit wide there. But I think a big reason why Yo Daddy was able to take that fight was because so many resources were used in that previous play for that bot lane catch onto Crab, but actually Vex is in a little bit of a weird spot right here. Crab gonna get run down here. I think he's just gonna keep getting slowed by the Ash passive. Immediately run down, and that is a catch right before Baron. No TP. Yeah, no TP for Victor. They could potentially look for this no ulti on Hecarim either, but they're taking some free hits. Oh, actually Vex ulti lands over the wall, going for Stank. He doesn't find the full combo to one-shot. I'm gonna take out the Lulu instead. That 1v1 is still going. The set is just probably going to be kited out here by the Victor. Not much you can really do if you don't get that initial one-shot, but this should still be a Baron for the side of Pity's Pirates, even with that solo kill down in the side lane. So we'll see if they're able to secure this now. It doesn't look like they're going to try to contest from the side of Yo Daddy. So even though they're able to pick up a couple kills here and there, it goes 1-for-1 in the trades. Pity's Pirates is still going to be picking up this first Baron of the game. Unless Stank just pulls off a miracle.
Oh my god.
That
That
could
was
have been
too
pretty
close.
That wasn't close. That wasn't close. That was a 1. Nah, it was a 100.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
come on,
Are
fuck
we
down,
selling
right?
views
Calm
or are we selling the truth here?
Calm the fuck down.
Oh,
right?
the Ash ulti actually does hit the Victor, and he's going to be picked up right here on the back end. So we'll see what they're able to do. They do have this Baron, and they might, and I think the side of Yodaddy needs to retreat after losing the Victor, so we'll see where their priority is of where they want to use this Baron. Top lane looks pretty good with 2 towers still up. They could potentially look to go to that bot inhib because they were able to break the tower with the second Rift Herald. Ovex ulti hitting onto Stank. He doesn't have that cleanse. He only has Ghost, so he's going to be taken down from that combo, the Haymaker, to finish him off. Able to get the Braum stun and actually finish off the Hecarim. Oh, and Jax gets interrupted by the second part of the Cyclone. Cannot jump in. 2 more picks for the side of Pity's Pirates, and now they just need to get this wave pushed in to be able to start breaking some of these inhib towers. And I think with those 2 picks, that'll look pretty good. We'll see if the Victor is able to wave clear and hold against these Baron minions.
And Pity kind of carrying with the Vex ultis. I
Jax
guess be calling out all these engages.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Yeah,
like...
he's hitting a lot of unassisted Vex ultis onto Kog'Maw here. No CC prior or anything to kind of help him aim that. So we do see that proficiency on the Vex coming in for him. We'll see what they want to do now. It looks like Victor's actually walking up into here, trying to look for the 1v3 angle. Vex is TPing in, though. Does have ulti in a couple seconds. Doesn't look like it's going to matter, though. I think they're just going to go and pivot towards this top tower with the Baron and the remaining time that they have here. The rest of Yodaddy's kind of grouped up as 5 in mid. We'll see how they want to react to this macro play from the side of Pity's Pirates.
Yeah, Vader just walking up, ego checking these noobs. Considering he has 3 items, he's actually very scary. They should be focusing on the team fights. Almost only on 2 items. I think Victor probably does way more AoE to Pity's Pirates anymore. So
Yodaddy is CSing better than these Pirates too. So I mean, it's not all bad.
yeah, most of his Pity's moving around, making plays all around the map.
I feel like both top down builds are trash, by the way. I
What would
feel
you
like
build?
if you're playing Jax, I feel like you should just go Bork, Wit's End, play sides, play TP flanks, if anything. Instead of just randomly jumping into 5 people. And
Finds a random Wukong in the bush there. Does actually get the Cyclone out. That was a little confusing to watch right there. But that's actually pretty critical, though, because no Cyclone now for Wukong as Dragon is about to spawn. I think that if Pity's Pirates are to play this front to back, it's going to be a lot harder for them because all the resources are still there. Actually, Wukong is basically at quarter HP. I don't know if they want to try to contest this. I think the only way that Pity's Pirates can win this is if they are able to catch out the Kog'Maw, or probably the Victor, I would think. Does look like they're going to back off here.
this guy is low. You only have to go for the deal. I'd say they should give.
Yeah, they should definitely look to get this. Cyclone is way more important to their team than the Hecarim mark.
Yeah, he is going for the recall right now, so I assume they're just going to want to try to push maybe into mid lane here. I don't think they want to be standing here if they're not going to try to fully contest this, so we'll see. Maybe they're going to be able to catch somebody on a rotation, but they are on the path to this mid lane tier 2 right now, so I think they'll be able to finish this off. It does look like they're pinging around that little corridor that they might try to walk, but Yodaddy is making the smart play, just walking the safe way around. Going to be trying to get back to defend their tower. There is no more Baron. They're actually going to look for an engage. Ashe is a little bit split here.
What the fuck did I just watch?
A little wide there.
Watch?
Cyclone is back up now, though, for the Wukong. Tries to go in, but immediately one-shot. There's just too much damage now on the side of Yodaddy. Fear does keep the Kog'Maw from pursuing, but yeah. Can you guys explain what we just saw right there? Because I'm not sure I understood that one.
I can't, man. I can't. Watching this is bad for my health. I swear.
That ult after that, the fucking Hecarim just ulting air, fucking Wukong just ease into the team. His team is like nowhere near him, and then he ease into the Kog'Maw and just kills himself next. Like, what am I looking at, man?
Yeah, just uncoordination from everyone's part.
Yeah, but I think the uncoordination actually it seems to favor Yodaddy a little bit more, just because, like you were saying, their carries have a bit more farm, they have a bit more gold on them, and you know, Victor Kog'Maw is a pretty strong backline if they're able to just free hit without being immediately caught out or one shot. So definitely we're kind of seeing, I think, that a little bit better scaling side of YoDaddy starting to show now that they've got a couple of their items built. We'll see kind of how they still want, because I do think that Pity's Pirates has a little bit of map control. They just need to be a little bit tighter on their coordination around all of their ultimates. If they keep going in one at a time like this, then yeah, I think YoDaddy can definitely pick them apart in these fights.
That's a banger build by the Hecarim, Ida. You approve of this?
I approve it if it wasn't 0-2. He was
You think
ahead.
he
You
should
can go Black Cleaver, but
You think he should build Sterex third, or it looks like he's building randoms?
I think you go random trade. I mean, I would personally go Frozen Heart. Oh, just
Okay, Hecarim jumps onto the screen to say hello, but
Alright.
it's not gonna do anything, and that's before Baron. Victor does have the TP sitting in bot lane, but we'll see if either of these teams want to start. I think they're gonna try to look for potentially a pick or a fight with maybe an Ashar or a Vexar. We'll see it. I guess not. I guess we're just gonna be starting up the Baron just in their face.
Lip it.
5v5 here. We'll see.
The Supreme
I
know he's
think
not
this-
playing Earth.
I think this is going to favor YoDaddy as long as they don't fumble any kind of engage. It is hard without the Hecarim, but Jack's going to be going in here. Does get stuffed, but gets a
Okay,
4-man stun onto the backline. He is taking things, but he does not have counter strike. Immediately countered actually by the set. Big ulti in, but Vex is not able to get an AoE fear off onto them, and YoDaddy completely wipes that fight right in front of the Baron, and that right there could potentially be the difference maker in this game.
That was something. It looked good until it wasn't.
Yeah, it was a huge Vex combo, but she dealt 5 damage to everyone.
I don't think
Is
she
that
had her
build?
fear for that one. Yeah, like it looked like they had a really good throw in with the set being able to
Yeah, the
bring in the
counter.
showstopper, but yeah, I don't think so. Like it looked like they were able to take Crab,
What was
not able to
Asher
finish him
for
off.
that?
Yeah, 5-man ulti
Oh,
from
just-
set, but
oh, okay.
Vex just didn't have that stun or that AoE fear up, so kind of just got completely wiped there. And as that's all going on, it looks like the YoDaddy is going to be able to get this mid inhib while everyone is respawning. They might still try to look for something. Ash ult is up. They might try to get something onto somebody. It's gonna hit the Victor. Now, can they chase him down? They do have the Braum passive tag, but Victor might just be able to turn around and go for the one shot.
Oh.
Not able to. Very, very close.
Oh.
Oh, and gets the tag actually onto.
Nah,
Okay, never
like
mind.
Ghost.
Dang,
Ghost
but
abuser.
Does get the ghost, yeah. Even if it's nerfed, it's still pretty
I
strong.
feel like if Victor wasn't stunned there, he could have easily killed Ash. I don't know why Ash is walking up to him. Reminds me of Sniper when he walked up to some people in
Damn,
the
what the
beginning,
hell?
and then we had to do boot camp for him, and then he
Oh,
learned.
are you referring to Season 2 champion Sniper?
Oh yes, the godly ADC who beat you.
Yeah, the guy who, only person that could gap me in both gameplay and power rankings, sadly.
And when the guys who didn't let play,
Yeah.
it was too good.
It's actually a
Vex
initiative.
Going out, they're going to be able to force the Hector multi actually defensively, but all this is going on. Jax does have a little bit of flank here. They're just trying to make something happen with this Victor being down, but I don't know how much they're really going to be able to punish now that they don't have that Vex ulti available. We'll see. Victor has respawned, so I think any fight that's taken by YoDaddy right now is actually going to be pretty good, and Brum is a little bit out in space right now. They are pretty split up. They could look for a fight. Oh, Brum being caught out. Harvey not in the right place right here. Let's try to jump away, but I think he's
Meanwhile-
probably...
Yeah, they just do dragon. They didn't kill Braum. They just give up.
Oh,
Dragon
wow,
for
yeah,
free.
they were able to just take Dragon on the backside right there.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty important that they don't get run down. Hecarim doesn't have ulti, so it's going to be hard, but yeah, that's a bit of a steal of a Dragon actually right there. That was
Yeah.
really good of Pity's Pirates to use that pick on the Victor from the mid inhib to basically secure themselves positioning for that third Dragon. So we'll see if they're able to hold this inhib defense. I'm still a little concerned, I think, for their overall team fighting, because I do think the Victor and the Kog'Maw at this point are just a bit too strong and maybe just too much damage output. They both have that 4-item point, but Braum jumping in to try to tag Jax up, but not able to finish him off. They'll just jump away to safety right now. And as we see, YoDaddy is pushing in 3-man into bot lane. Victor's TP is about to be up, so he can respond with any kind of play that happens down there. But looks like Pity's Pirates is just going to be trying to stall out this Baron for themselves.
It's kind of hard to just walk into that team. I feel like Pity's Pirates needs to like fully engage or look for a pick into like a full engage.
Yeah, they
Because then
actually,
Ash
Braum
not
is
walk
on the
into
flank
Victor.
right now behind. Looks like they want to go for something here. Wukong's going in. Cyclone does knock him up the first time, going for the full CC, but I think Victor's a bit too strong at this point. Does take him down, but Hecarim is on the flank now, returning the favor. Ults into the backline, getting a 3-man fear, and he's just going to run through even though he's exhausted. Still stalling out enough time. Jack's able to just get the jump in, but he actually doesn't have the counter-strike anymore and just jumps in and dies. Victor is completely by himself here. Vex ulti goes forward. Oh, and a flash forward from Ashe, able to take him down. That's a triple kill for Arctic, and that's...
Yeah, they're losing Nexus turrets for this.
Yeah, they're definitely losing a lot of pressure in their base, but they're going to only drop this bot in him. I don't think the Nexus towers are actually down. No, the left one is about a quarter HP.
Man, that Hecarim build's a mosquito build.
That too. I just wanted to say real quick, trade offer. We chase the Braum, you get a free dragon. That was a banger play. Can we give him a round of applause for that? Holy.
The totally purpose play that they did.
Man,
lure them away.
Yeah, so a lot of kills being brought over to Pity's Pirates, but I still think, kind of looking at how the map state is going to go, it's going to be pretty hard for YoDaddy to actually throw this game. As long as they just keep playing it smart around these dragons and don't chase too far for kills or don't get caught out in side lanes ahead of time, they should just be able to use these two open inhibs to their advantage to get some map pressure. It does really feel like they are the stronger team at this point. It does feel kind of like their carries have scaled. Stank is now on his patented 4 items with No Blade of the Rune King, but honestly, he doesn't really need it this game. There's not a lot of tanky frontline members for him to fight. He needs to more focus on just not getting one-shot by that Vex, by that Ashe and Wukong combo, but Baron's about to spawn up in 40 seconds. We will see how they want to set this up. Looks like they're just going to be pushing out together in this top lane towards the last non-opened inhib area, kind of posturing themselves in here for the Baron play.
Yeah, I would say that Pity's Pirates does have a poke comp, but I think at this stage of the game, they just don't have enough damage. So even if they do get an Astral Arrow or Vex ulti on someone, it kind of seems like they survive too long before the team gets there on time.
Oh, and actually, yeah, Hecarim's gonna just start it off right away, getting that fear onto the Jack.
Okay, Rexhead going in alone.
Yeah, Rexhead going in to try to disrupt the backline, but that Cyclone's not even gonna go off on the second time. Meanwhile, Arctic is just firing and firing. Oh, but he actually jumps in. Itty is able to kill off a bunch in the backline, but is Ashe able to finish it off? He does.
Oh my god.
Stank is still alive. Free firing, does get hit by the Ashe Arrow. Do they have enough time to get the stun onto him? He's able to pump out the damage, not able to get it off, but it's gonna be a 4 for 5 in the favor of Pity's Pirates. Able to actually win that fight. Pity himself doing a Herculean effort in the backline, finishing off everybody but Stank that didn't dive in. Crab doing a pretty admirable job doing the same, but at the end of the day, just barely able to win that fight is Pity's Pirates. That's pretty crazy because I didn't think that was going to actually happen. I didn't think they would be strong enough to be able to pull that off, but kind of just completely resets the map. No one was able to take Baron there, so looks like we're just going to have that dance again, but now at the Dragon respawning right now.
Man, this reminds me of the one time I went to the zoo where just saw 2 monkeys throwing poop at each other. Just both teams just pulling a trigger on any side of action, just not even playing together or the sides to the strengths of the comp.
This is interesting because if Rexcat is able to steal this, this is soul for them. Oh, he actually jumped in really quite early. Now they're not going to go for him in the pit. He has Braum in there too. They need to be careful and get out. Oh, Pity does land the ulti onto the Lulu, immediately one shot. Fung is able to escape over the back, but they are now stuck in the pit, actually flanked a little bit. Ashe is not able to get to them. As this is all going on, Stank is able to just take out the divers. Nice Zonias by Victor right there to avoid the Haymaker damage, and Jack's kind of finishing him off. He's going to get kited out here, though, by the Ashe, but this is a bit difficult because Stank is full, and he is ready to go. Hecarim ghosting in. Victor actually TPing on the flank right here. They're able to finish off the rest of Pity's Pirates, and I think that's going to be game now.
I think they would have called game instead of doing the dragon. I don't know what that call was, but what the fuck?
What a way to end the game.
Yeah.
That Pity's Pirates backline game flanked by the backline of Yo Daddy was truly a marvelous team fight.
Yep, and with all of that, it looks like Yo Daddy is going to take the first game of this series. We'll see if Pity's Pirates is going to be able to fire back, or if Yo Daddy is going to be able to secure one of the first 2 O's for this split. We will be taking a short break right now before we get into next champion select, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, hello everybody, and welcome back to game number 2 between Yo Daddy and Pity's Pirates. Teams are swapped now, so Yo Daddy is on the blue side and Pity's Pirates is on the red side, and we are getting ourselves underway into draft right
No
now.
Aphelios ban.
Yeah,
Yep,
first
there's
3
pick
bans actually
Aphelios.
going out rapid fire right now. Same 3 bans for Yo Daddy. A switch up, no Aphelios ban for the side of Pity's Pirates, so that is going to be snatched up real fast for Stank. He's going to get that in the B1. So we'll see what they're going to do. It does seem like they might have a plan for this time, unless they just think that the Victor was just too strong in that last game and they want to try to get rid of that out of Bongo Cat's pool. We'll see what the response is going to be. It is going to be a Seraphine locked in, so I wonder if that's going to be Arctic playing the Seraphine or if they're going to throw that in the support for Harvey. Maybe they're going to try to neutralize that ADC threat in bot lane just by playing a ton of utility to kind of help play around the top side champions. But we'll see what they want to pair with the Seraphine in their first 2 picks here.
Hopefully, they just go double poke lane. That's actually not bad into Aphelios.
Yeah, and it looks like the
Oh,
Graves...
the legendary Rexcat Graves.
Rexcat Graves coming in. Itaconic killer, as they say.
True.
But it looks like Supreme is going to match that with the Maokai pickup. I
God
think
bless.
I think he's going to find a lot more success in the jungle with that pick. Ton of AoE, ton of lockdown to help out Stank, and just a lot of zone control. I think so far here, and actually going to be getting the Karma for Ethereal as well. So Karma Aphelios pretty strong 2v2 bot lane. Especially if it's not going to be going against any like traditional type of bot lane. I'm still assuming that Seraphine is going to be either ADC or support.
Could be flex mid.
Yeah, we'll see what they. It could be mid too. I don't think Pity would play Seraphine though.
He wouldn't willingly, but if he was like a good matchup, then maybe.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's gonna be Tristana. Okay.
interesting.
Do you know if Pity plays Tristana mid, or is that like for sure Arctic playing at bot lane?
I don't know what he's cooking, but he could. I know he's played like Akshan. I've never seen him play Tristana though, so I think that's bot lane. But you never know.
I mean, the Cassio ban.
Yeah, he did ban
They're
Cass.
banning mid laners. This might be a Tristana mid actually with a Seraphine bot. That would make some sense.
And then they go Seraphine. Yeah, Seraphine.
Yeah, I think this. Yeah, and then having Graves as like a second AD backside threat. That does sound pretty good. The Jack's going to be banned out for Krabadabadoo as well here, so he's going to have to pick something else. I would assume probably something like a Pantheon, I would imagine. That's probably like next on his list of champions that he likes to play in the top lane. We'll see now what they want to go for. Still banning out the Syndra and the Lissandra, so I think they think that this is a Tristana bot lane, but we'll probably see what they're going to go for. I mean, I think Ornn being open right now, that's a pretty good option for Pity's Pirates to put Kumi on. Pretty solid frontliner, something that can help out just overall really strong team fighting with that Seraphine, Graves, and Tristana core. We'll see if they want to blind pick this top lane just to kind of keep that optional flex open for themselves, or what they're going to try to do. It is going to be a Dr. Mundo. Okay. So they are going to be blind picking that top lane. It is going to be a tank. It's just going to be probably something he's a bit more comfortable on playing up there.
That makes Saul special. If anyone remembers, if you know, you know.
Very true. Struck terror into my heart in the one game I played against it.
His Mordekaiser is pretty cracked too.
Yeah, I think he played that the first game, first game against Quintic last week as well. So it's definitely one of his more preferred pick. And if only Ide was here to see the Acel pick, just like he said.
Yeah. I don't know. if that's a Tristana mid early game, is gonna be hell for you.
Yeah, I think seeing the Asol, they I feel like they should pivot the Tristana into mid lane. That just seems like a
Yeah.
really good mid lane champion to hard abuse it in lane early on.
Oh.
Krabadebadu is going to be picking up the Kasante in the top lane here, so a little bit of a tank fight going on, and now we'll see what Pity's Pirates wants to round out their comp with. A lot of flex options open. They could pick an ADC, they could pick a mid laner, they could just kind of do whatever they want here. They could pick a support if they wanted to, frontline. It is going to be the Nautilus.
What the fuck am I looking at?
Okay, I think I know how this comp is going to be. If this is going to be locked in, it is. Okay, so this is probably going to be a Tristana mid with Seraphine Nautilus bot lane. That's my best guess if they want their team comp to be pretty strong, I think. They do still have the option to go for a Tristana bot lane. I just don't think Pity would be the one playing the Seraphine. That doesn't really seem like his type of champion. But I guess we'll see as we'll get loaded in, and we'll be able to kind of go through and figure out once the champions are locked in. But just kind of looking at these two teams again, which side do you think you favor in this second game?
None. Can I vote for none?
All right, gun to your head if you had to choose one. Who do you think
I
it would
think
be?
Yo Daddy has the way better comp, but I think Pity's Pirates, if they can like get ahead early, it might like be like Dunzo. I think if left side scales, they get to like late game, it's over. Like
Oh
there's
yeah,
nothing
for sure.
right side can do. But I think I don't know about this fucking Nautilus pick, man. Like, what is this? Like, I guess you have engaged because Mundo can engage, Graves can engage, but it's just I don't know, man.
Yeah, I think with the way that they drafted their team, they do need some kind of engaged support. That's why I was talking about maybe having like an Ornn as well for top lane, because it gives you
Yeah,
another long range form of engage that if it's paired with the Nautilus, it could be pretty good. I don't know if Harvey plays Rel at all either, but if they had like an Ornn Rel for 4 or 5, that could potentially be another really good like solid combo for team fighting. Because at that point, I do think that they would actually. I think that Tristana Graves and like Seraphine would be pretty strong. Just
yeah,
playing purely front to back. But yeah, it is going to be curious to see. I do definitely think that Yo Daddy has the better team comp as the game goes on. Asol obviously just a really strong scaling threat. Aphelios, once he gets like 3 to 4 items, not including Hullbreaker,
Wait,
he's
I've
pretty
seen this
strong.
before. Last game, Pity's Pirates had the better comp, and they lost. So that means your daddy's about to take this L. And Supreme Chris can ult air and not miss this time.
Sure. It's a much larger basket that he can throw his ulti into to try to hit. But yeah, I do think. I think Pity's Pirates did a pretty good job of getting that early game lead. For the most part, they were doing pretty well to secure those early dragons. I thought a lot of the plays that they were going for early were pretty aggressive as well. It just kind of got away from them because they just didn't quite close out, and they got picked a couple too many times. That top lane especially being a pretty big pain point for them, trying to be able to stall it out. But as we're seeing, looks like everything is locked in. It is going to be the Tristana mid, the Seraphine bot lane, and the Nautilus support. So does look like they're kind of just forfeiting the lane in bot lane. They're going to be looking to purely scale, try to get this Tristana a ton of help, try to let the Graves scale up a little bit too. I do think that I think that they should leave the Seraphine just by herself in bot lane. I think that they
Yeah,
should let this Nautilus run around the map with Graves and Tristana, and they're just kind of going to act as like a 3-man hit squad running around trying to go for anything. And Asol for me is the big target in mid lane. He's going to be pretty immobile, pretty susceptible to burst if they're able to lock him down at all in any of these fights early on.
yeah. You have
And it's
super prio with Tristana too. Like
Yeah, Tristana gives
early.
him a ton of prio until Asol gets to about level 9, which is when he's able to fully hold down his Q to wave clear.
Low
But
key,
yeah,
dive
I,
his
I
ass before he gets
considering
sick.
how yeah, considering how long these games have been going though so far in this league, I do want to say I might favor Yo Daddy's comp a little bit. It's kind of on this game is on Pity's Pirates to be able to snowball and kind of just go through and execute correctly. But as we saw last game, some of the execution was not as clean as it potentially could have been. So we'll see if a little bit of a stylistic change up here can help them out. You have anything else to say before we go into a spectator break?
I feel like because Tristana has so much pride, you need to force something. If not, you're just gonna like concede your win con, and you're just gonna die of cringe, unless your daddy just absolutely like turbo griefs this game.
Mm-hmm.
But you really have to play towards your win con, and I personally know that Rexcat doesn't really do much on Graves. He's playing Graves. I know that Mundo doesn't do shit, so it's up to Pity and fucking Harvey to like get this game going.
Yeah, I think I like Pity on a higher just like DPS carry, whether it's AD or AP. I think because he usually has like a pretty good game sense for shot calling. I think him being on a more like I guess resource intensive champion like Tristana, he might be able to direct traffic a little bit better. But we are about a minute and a half away waiting for that spectator delay. So we're going to go into a short break waiting for that to load in. But don't go anywhere. We will be back with the second game of Yo Daddy versus Pity's Pirates. All right. And welcome back, everybody. We are getting ourselves into game 2 between Yo Daddy and Pity's Pirates. And on the blue side, we have Yo Daddy Crabadabadoo on the Cassante, Supreme Mercs on the Maokai, Bongo Cat on a Soul Stank on the Aphelios, and Ethereal Images on the Karma.
Our red side, we have the Kumi and Mundo. We have, I don't even want to say his name. We have Rexcat on Graves. We have East Pity on Tristana, and we have Arctic Cyanide on, what is this champ's name? Sona.
Seraphine.
I know.
Sona 2.
Yeah, Sona number 2. And then for some reason we have a Nautilus named the Harvey edition in the bot lane. I feel like if you go Seraphine Sona here, it's just Giga, no? Then you have some insurance for late game. And if your top lane was like Cyan or something, that would
Yeah,
be a banger comp.
I think you could definitely trade out the Nautilus if you wanted to. I know we were kind of talking before. I think the Ornn, like an Ornn Rel type of a combo, just like two really consistent forms
Or
of
that,
engage would be
yeah.
pretty strong. But I do think that Nautilus is needed, even if it's not necessarily optimal. I do think Seraphine Nautilus actually isn't a lane that should be slept on. It does have pretty decent 2v2 potential at level 6. Maybe a little bit more if you can poke them out, but what I do want to kind of draw attention to is Pity actually went Halo Blades and he went Ignite in this mid lane. So he is 100% playing for this lane to try to be able to win hard. So I think he's playing into this correctly. I think he's playing into the right mindset that he wants for this matchup. We'll see how much he's able to get done, though, in the early stages of this game when he's arguably going to be at his strongest.
Seraphine does have teleport too. I guess she just wants to use as much mana to push the waves and just keep resetting. And if Harvey is perma roaming like he should do, like,
Does land double root actually onto the
Oh my god, he just kills himself.
This is, I mean, okay, I did say it was a good
lane,
actually. East Pity jumping in onto the Maokai as he's trying to clear his own Raptors, does use the Ignite, almost able to kill him off, and Supreme actually losing that flash right away. I was going to say that, you know, Seraphine Nautilus does actually have a pretty strong 2v2 if they can hit level 2 first. It is dependent on that, because landing a hook on either Karma or Aphelios, followed up with like a double root from Seraphine, it's almost impossible for anybody to be able to live through that much base damage in CC. So already Arctic and Harvey finding a 2v2 kill for themselves, playing a lot better, I think, in this early laning phase than they did before. And Rexcat actually going for a nice invade here. No flash on the Maokai. He's going to find him. Should be able to follow it up. Oh, but does flip the kill over, forcing himself to flash. But it looks like at the end of the day, he is going to be able to get this. Yeah, how is he going to be able to get out of this one?
He has no flash too.
Yeah, he did have to use his flash. I think if he's able to get to the wall, he might have a chance. He does have Mundo Tristana, and actually Nautilus is coming up here too. The freeze frame a little bit, we'll see. He is able to actually escape himself there. No A Soul W to be able to follow. And I really like how Harvey is playing this, even just roaming literally at level 2. It looks like they're trying to cut off A Soul actually in his own jungle from being able to walk back to lane, missing out on some more of these minions. But Seraphine is a little bit out of position. Good on Ethereal and Stank. Yeah, good on them to be able to force that flash. Actually playing a little bit with fire here, kind of walking up, taking some free hits for himself. Graves going to be going for that bot scuttle and top scuttle, so he's going to be able to get both. And Nautilus coming back from lane. Picked up some boots to be able to run a little bit faster here. And so far, it looks like Pity's Pirates definitely taking the fight to Yo Daddy a lot earlier than we saw in this last game. And I think with how aggressive their team comp is, it's
Pity's going bot.
Yeah, Pity's walking around right here, actually. Oh, the game going on to Kumi top. Looks like they're probably going to be able to finish it off. But what's more important is this bot lane fight. We got 4 going down here. Stank has no flash. He just used it right there. And looks like Pity's going to be jumping in. This should be at least 1 kill, probably 2 right here. Able to finish him off. Yep, Tristana takes the jump in. Ethereal's able to flash away. Oh, actually, trades one back. I don't know if Arctic took a tower shot there, like at the max range, or what exactly happened that he was that low, but they're able to trade 1-for-1 on that play. But again, you know, Pity just moving around the map with Rexcat, with Harvey to really try to put out as much early pressure as possible. And I'm really liking the trajectory of how they're playing these fights to get themselves early on. What I really want them to do is now use this pressure to be able to get early dragons and actually fully commit on stacking those forward. Because I think that this is a game where they could potentially get 4-0 dragons if they play around it correctly.
Yeah, they're actually playing the early game well. I do want to highlight that Stank died without bot using any sums at level 1, and Seraphine just killed herself for no reason. I don't know how. I think it was the turret. I guess she
it had to have been a turret shot. Yeah, I didn't see anything else damage wise that would have traded back on that.
Yeah. So, I don't know, just people randomly just killing themselves in the bot lane, but outside of that, I think their rotations are good.
Yeah, it does seem like they have pretty high mid prio with this Tristana getting a kill for herself there. It already has the Noon Quiver, so it's going to be even easier for them to be able to shove out. And actually, Kumi looking for a little bit of aggression right here. He's level 6. Krabadabadoo is not level 6 yet himself. But he could potentially look to kind of bully him out a little bit from lane here. It does bring him down to about half health. We'll see now that Rexcat is heading down towards the spot side if they want to try to group up and look for this dragon. I think right now would be a really good timer with having all this priority. Seraphine is a little bit low, so that could spell some danger if they decide to fight. But it looks like they're going to just maybe try to invade for this red buff that's respawning on the bot side. Looks like everyone's kind of getting dragged over here to look for it. We'll see if they're able to go for it. Actually, Krabadabadoo going all in right here, trying to dash in on the Mundo. Flashes forward too, going for it. Is he able to land the third knockup? He does. That might spell death for the Kumi. Able to get the soap. All of this is going on. There is an invade in this bot side. Hook does land onto the Maokai, who does not have flash. Rexcat just barely not able to finish him off. Supreme actually able to escape right here. Are they going to be able to get out of this? Looks like they can. Yeah, looks like they're able to escape right here. But
illegal.
Yeah, that was pretty. I mean,
ult on Acel, man. You have your Aphelios coming. You have the Karma. I don't know where Karma's pathing is going. But your Acel with level 6, they have nothing, and you just ult onto them. It looks like they're
actually committed by Stank here to get root with the gravity gun, and looks like Arctic's a little bit pushed up. I will say that Stank and Ethereal are doing a really good job of punishing the Seraphine whenever the Nautilus goes to roam. I think Arctic's just a little bit too far up on his own here, getting himself caught out a handful of times now in these fights. But what's really important right here is because of that play, now they're probably not going to be able to get any early dragons for themselves for at least another minute, I would assume. So, you know, potentially looking for a Rift Herald. I think Pity's Pirates really needs to be able to push the tempo here. They're even in gold, but, you know, each minute that passes that Stank and Bongo Cat are able to get some gold in their pockets, the more scaled that these backline carries are going to be. So really need to be able to put some pressure on the map for the macro objectives, I think, for them to be able to kind of solidify this lead for themselves.
I feel like he would have just canceled us back there anyways, even if he's gonna do that.
Well, you know, we can't ever recall when we're 0 mana. Gotta stay around for just another wave.
Yeah, gotta catch the extra wave. We actually have to wait till our whole entire teleport is back up to go take a recall. It does look like top is getting kind of fucked in with that lead, but it's still Mundo, so I mean, I guess he just walks at people, and if he zones people, or if they just ignore him, they're fucked. But if he zones people somehow, then that's really good for him.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see how, like, if that lane changes at all once he gets the Heart Steal, because that's kind of when a lot of Mundo's power, I think, gets unlocked. Even if he's not super far ahead, he is able to at least get a little bit of team fight damage onto people, especially once he gets, you know, a couple levels under his belt. But looks like actually Yo Daddy's going to be starting this Herald. Maokai ulti thrown out, but not able to root anybody. Graves is here. Acel is in base with no TP, so they could potentially come in here and kind of take this away from them. And yeah, it doesn't look. I mean, they might try to contest, but Maokai is just away right now. I mean, and this is what's so important about that Acel recall being canceled so often, is because he had to recall with 0 mana a lot later. That gives them the timer to actually come in and bully out the Rift Herald from them. So an objective that Yo Daddy kind of wanted to take there ends up getting yoinked away by the side of these Pirates. So we'll see where they want to use that Rift Herald, potentially mid lane if they want to try to kind of put some pressure on the Acel. They could potentially look for dive bot lane. Maokai is hovering around bot side, but he doesn't have his ulti yet, so we'll have to wait and see if they're going to go for a play there or not. Both
stand to be corrected. He ulted air and missed air. Like,
he did ult then. Okay.
No, I was saying in the jungle when he ulted the Tristana, and he didn't hit anybody.
Oh, he did ult in that fight. Okay.
Yeah, it was just like, what the heck? How do you prove me wrong on Maokai, man?
Yeah, So all
This is
this,
kind of
all
a
this
low
has been
state
going
of League
on
of Legends
too.
smile.
It does look like, yeah, they were able to pick up that first dragon as well. I didn't see them actually go for that. So these Pirates able to get the first dragon for themselves. Next one is coming up in 3 minutes. Static shift completed now for Tristana. So that's going to basically be complete wave control in mid lane. She's going to effectively insta-clear the wave. There's really nothing that
Okay,
Acel can
now.
do for that, but looks like Maokai is actually
Ooh.
around here. Does those
Acel's
ulti.
bot
Karma
too.
flashes forward with the tether. Seraphine flashes into the Maokai actually, but does appear to be safe. Acel jumping in. Going to be able to get that execute landed down, but Pity is here to try to salvage it, but it's another good play by Odette. It looks like they're still actually going forward. If they can get a Maokai root, flash roots onto the Tristana, he's got to jump away. Going to flash over the wall to save himself, and good plays by Yo Daddy to be proactive and looking for a numbers advantage, but it does seem like just a little bit of a flub from the side of Pity's Pirates, I think, there as well.
That was a questionable flash from the Seraphine. I think he flashed towards the turret, but I guess she thought that she was safe if she flashed over her team. But if really, I guess they didn't know Aurelion Sol was there, but because Aurelion Sol roamed, she was just kind of doomed because he ulted her.
Yeah, definitely a good roam there. Oh, he's looking like he wants to go all out potentially. No, he's actually just going to keep him up with that pass. The Mundo passive can be able to save the Kumi, but
Like flash here.
yeah, he could look for a flash. I don't think it's going to happen. Probably he's going to be able to walk out of that one, but Rabadabadoo still denying CS, still denying some of that XP, trying to get some places for himself, and it does look like mid lane Herald is going to be dropped. With that Tristana bomb, it's going to bring it down to 2 plates remaining in that mid lane, so good gold. Oh, actually, Kumi is staying up here. Doesn't have ulti, does have flash.
Okay,
We'll see.
we have Seb on this team
Getting
too.
him low. Is he going to be ulting him out? Yes, all ins over the wall, but actually jumping
Kitty.
out and hit by the collateral damage
Yes,
as
though.
he tries to dash away. So Graves able to pick up that shutdown from the Cassante up in the top lane. Good roam up from them. Even the Nautilus there to provide a little bit of support as well.
Okay.
Oh, and actually, are they going to go for it? He does jump in. Oh, hook does not land. It goes onto the wall, but actually while this entire time is going down, Gravitum
I
going
can't.
in.
This
gets the
guy is
root.
troll.
Arctic, a little bit far up again, drops for the 4th time right now, and Stank and Ethereal, there, the Nautilus is roaming out of the lane, but I don't think Arctic is playing safe enough or respecting this bot lane kill pressure enough, especially with that Gravitum on the Aphelios. Pretty easy pick control with the Karma as well. It looks
They
like,
could look, but
yeah, Dragon's about to spawn in 20, so they'd have to do this right away. Seraphine is alive with Unleashed TP, so she could come back. Looks like she's just going to walk right away. But, I mean, I think as long as Yo Daddy is fighting around this bot lane, it's pretty hard for them to lose, I think, at this point. Like, Seraphine is obviously still useful with her ulti, but it does feel like the Aphelios is pretty accelerated right now. I believe he is going for a BT rush. It's kind of interesting. We'll see how that pans out for him. But it looks like the teams are grouping up. Oh, but Nautilus
I like how
actually
he
goes
knows
in.
at the same
That
time.
charge goes down. They're trying to fight back, but no one is getting any kills right here.
What?
Seraphine ulti only hits one. Maokai is by himself, but not actually getting any kills. They're able to finish him off. He's a little bit too deep right here. And right now, all these members are about half health. Kitty's jumping in. Does he get the... He doesn't have presence of mind to jump out. He is able to escape. Oh, and the...
Does he have Triumph?
No, yeah, I think he does. The Sky's
Hey, no.
Descend actually stole Dragon right there.
Huge.
By the way.
Okay,
So
that's
even though they're
entirely
able to
fucking
take
game.
down the jungler, I guess it doesn't matter. They're able to return the favor. This could actually potentially be a solo kill angle, I think, for the Kumi if he plays in. He goes all in. Does take another tower shot, though. He's going to
He's
go
dead.
dangerously low, but actually Crab is turning this one around. Is he going to be able to finish him off? And Crab does finish him. Just not enough auto attacks from the Kumi to be able to finish him off. He also had flash there, but
Yeah,
not able
I
to
was gonna
finish
say
him.
he had flashed.
Oh, yeah, that was so close from the part of the Kumi. Oh, Seb actually jumps forward with Aceful and ends up going down. Not the right way to go with that Brilliant Soul W, but in the bot lane, Stank and Ethereal are trying to go all in. The tether from Karma hit, but zoned out by that performance. So, and Pity's able to actually
That
buffer
was an
that.
interaction.
Yeah, they're gonna try to kill this Cassante, but I think he might just be a little bit too tanky. Oh, nice buster shot away to keep the Cassante from chasing. Maokai ulti actually going down right at the tail end there as it jumps back. And I guess you were wrong. He can throw that out however far he wants, but not able to finish that one off. But yeah, it's, you know, Rexcat and Pity are doing a pretty good job of all this skirmishing around with the 2v2. They are going in right here.
Okay, boy, dead as hell. Oh,
He
broke
is
the tether.
he gone. Yep.
If he landed that tether, oh, it's so doomed. Even though Stink has no mana, does this guy have Triumph too? What is happening?
Yeah, I guess he does have Triumph. I can check his runes really quick just to double check, but I do believe he has Triumph here. Yes, he does. He has Bloodline Triumph.
My God.
Which, yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Triumph on ADC. I think presence of mind, especially on a reset champion like Tristana with pretty high mana costs, all things considered. Nice jump away to avoid getting caught out, but it looks like the second Rift Herald is going to be going down for Yo Daddy. This should take out the mid tower. I think it'll be able to survive. Yep, it's at that half health mark, but they'll be able to finish it off before it gets the second charge. Dragon's coming up in about 2.5 minutes, and that's going to be the next big objective coming out here. Yeah, and they're going to go all in on this top lane, actually going for the fight.
That thing is broken.
Trying to go in again, but Graves is actually up here to help finish him off. Misses the collateral damage, flashes forward, but he actually gets hit by the second part of end of the line from Graves right there, finishing himself off. So actually going to be a kill on the side for Rexcat as well, and they're going to be pushing in this top tower. Going to be able to finish this one off, it looks like, too, in the top lane. Oh, and Pity's down here, too, but... Oh, Maokai ulti's coming in. Looks like
okay, he got somebody.
Only going to hit the Nautilus, but not able to do much more. Asol is top lane now to cover that wave, but it's still a pretty back and forth. Oh, Nautilus hook actually lands, upcharge going down onto Aphelios, but looks like, oh, they're going to be able to finish him off, but Ethereal flashes with the Tristana bomb already on top of him, about to explode. They could potentially look for another dive here too. Yeah, flashing forward with the hook. Encore coming through, hitting only the Aphelios, but they are going to be able to finish him off. Maybe able to cluster that guy down, jumping in for the reset. I think they're going to be able to finish him off too with this Nautilus hook. And yeah, East Pity now 5-0 and 3 on this Tristana, playing well around his utility bot lane with the Seraphine and Nautilus. And just a little bit of an overstay, I think, from Stank and Ethereal. They kind of not able to really go for anything. Oh, and he's going to be challenging the very tanky Cassante here. I think after this, I'm assuming he's going Navori here. He should have the money. Yeah, he's sitting on like 2K right now. After he gets this Navori, he definitely needs to be looking for some armor pen to be able to kill this Cassante. I don't think you really need any lifesteal, but we'll see what he decides to build with that Crit Cloak and Longsword.
Dude,
he's just going for the Crit Cloak and then building the Longswords into Last Whisper. That's a potential thing if he just wants more crit. I would personally like to rush Last Whisper just so I can, like, for sure auto attack Cassante and not feel like I'm useless the entire time trying to do that, but we'll see how they want to play this. Dragon is up in 13 seconds. Both teams are going to be coming down here for a 5v5. Asol is in the base with TP. Does not have the skies to send.
So that's a good item to have.
Yeah, on that second item, Rylai's, it's really good. Oh, and Nautilus just hooks in, going for the depth charge onto Aphelios. It's forced to ghost away, but this is a pretty nice zone control that they have here. Asol ult actually coming down, hitting 3. This Rylai is going pretty crazy, but Graves doing quite a bit of damage on the backside. They kind of got to choose. East Pity just jumps in completely. Blue Aphelios ulti dropping down. They are all so incredibly low, but able to jump away with the reset. They named the reset this fight a little bit. Rexcat going in by himself, completely full HP, able to completely run down this team as that Serpent's Fang with a little bit of a KS, but they're jumping around. Encore actually hits onto both of them, going through East Pity, able to finish off. Crab is the last one going all in, but he is going all out back to the fountain, and Pity's Pirates able to completely win that fight 5-1, securing themselves this second dragon for themselves. And if they're fast enough, they could potentially look to try to do Baron here. Everyone is dead for about 20 seconds or so, except for the jungler, but I guess they're just going to go down for this bot tower Kumi, if you are tanking that tower, you might want to walk away at some point. There you go. Oh, okay. All good. Mundo passed. No, Mundo passed. Calculated. It was fully calculated. Fully calculated.
Am I in a fever dream? Like, I had to check my temperature right now. Am I sick right now? Like, Tristana just jumped in by herself and it ended up working out, and then that was a good Seraphine ult, but like, that Krabby just AFK over the wall the whole time.
Yeah, he definitely needed to either get behind or connect with his team to just act as a front line. I will say, I think it wasn't as bad of a Tristana jump because Asol had already used pretty much all of his combo. The ulti had already come down in that fight at the beginning when they were kind of choked out by red buff. So he was pretty free. The only thing that really could have killed him, I think, was a blue ulti from the Aphelios. But yeah, it looks like, you know, he's pretty strong. He's definitely strong enough to be able to just kind of stat check whoever he wants to jump in on, as long as he's not completely by himself here. But looks like Pity's Pirates now kind of congregating around this Baron. They do have a pretty good opportunity to go for that if they're able to get the side lanes pushed out. Kumi is in the bot lane with TP available, trying to come in and retake some vision, but while this is happening, Pity is just going to push in that top wave. Sante did just go back, so we'll see. Sky's Descend is available for the Aurelion Soul for their next fight, though. Looks like he's getting pretty strong. He is up to about 222 Cosmic Dust, so he's getting to a point where he's starting to scale. Level 14 now from that extra Roa level. But while this is all going on, East Pity does have the components for Lord Dom, so once he gets that finished, it's potentially pretty good for them. And actually, I think Pity's Pirates is starting this objective up right now. It's down to about half HP, but looks like everyone's going to be coming in. They got to be careful, though, trying to escape here. Kumi is coming in with the TP. Oh, but actually, Karma is almost going to get completely one-shot. Does get one-shot. Looks like Nautilus is probably going to trade health, but no, Seraphine shielding and healing is just too strong. Going all out on the Graves. Okay, trying to get something back. Arctic is a bit out of position. Flashes away. Aurelion Soul is zoning, but Pity's on the flank. He jumps onto Snake, and he's going to one-shot him, looking to go again onto the Ace Soul, and he is going to be caught out too. Does finish off the Nautilus, but not good enough. And with that fight, it looks like Pity's Pirates is going to also be able to finish off. Probably Cassante, yep, flashes forward. We'll see if he has enough damage. That Cassante is mighty tanky. Does even smite him too.
Oh, I can't.
And Arctic able to pick him up right at the tail end, but this should be Baron now with that big pick, or maybe we're just going to go to top tower instead. We'll see if they want to turn around. They are going to get 2 towers here. This is a bit interesting. I don't think this is where you want to go, my friend. You did not want to jump in onto the Tristana. Does flash forward and finish it off. Jungler is dead. That should be a pretty free look at the Baron now. He just needs to go back and go help his team out. And yeah, just I think a really well fought fight on the side of Pity's Pirates. Yeah. They had really good, I think I'd have to rewatch that with Vision again just to kind of see how he was able to sneak by, but I really liked the different angles that they were playing on. They had Sante on one side coming up from the blue buff, but he's not really able to do much by himself like that, especially when Graves and Tristana are able to just kind of free fire him at that point. And then, you know, Ace Soul has pretty good zone control, but didn't really look like he had much of a good angle for a big Sky's Descend there until it was a little bit too late. So, you know, Pity's Pirates, I think, definitely playing much better around this type of a team comp. I really like the distribution of like who's on what type of champion for this team comp, and it seems like they're playing around these champions really well. You know, Pity and Rexcat both have some pretty big bounties on them, so there is potential for YoDaddy to pick up some extra gold if they're able to, you know, find a pick onto them. Actually, Maokai ult coming down only hits the Nautilus again, but looks like they're going to be trying to go for something. Sante all in, outing the Nautilus over the wall, but that's just going to drop him a little bit too low now. And Maokai just super squishy, not able to help. And Pity jumping in, buffers the W jump with the Ace Soul ulti, but not quite able to finish him off. Ace Soul is pretty tanky at this point. But now, with all of this pressure, it looks like they're going to try to walk them in. Kumi is just running it in here. Oh, Pity jumps in. He's going in for Stank. He is very low, but he's not going to finish him. And Pity's actually in a bit of a trouble here. They're going a little bit too deep, and they're able to take him down. Stank picks up that shutdown. Oh, Rexcat actually jumps in on his own, forces the Aurelion Soul flash, but as of right now, they still have that Baron. They can go for the spot inhib and definitely be able to secure that. But like we were saying, Pity kind of just jumping in a little bit too aggressive. and giving Overstank that 1k shutdown. So now he is at that DT and IE completed.
Yeah.
And Dragon is just about to spawn, so we should... I think we'll still see Pity's Pirates be able to secure this. A lot of the flashes, like pretty much all the flashes of all the carries and everyone are down on the side of Yo Daddy. So looks like they're going to just be setting up a bush trap. Oh, Asol is walking a different way, but doesn't look like it's going to matter here. Oh, Maokai ulti coming in on the back end. Right now, big zoning control thrown down by the Asol, but they're not ready quite to commit yet. He's doing a good job of trying to just keep them zoned off, but I think he's going to just jump after him right here. Pick up a couple hard steel stacks for the road and gets shut down as well. So right now, I think this is Yo Daddy's Dragon to be able to contest. We'll see what they want to do. Pity is back alive, coming in. I don't know if they want to take this fight at a numbers disadvantage. They do still have the Asol ulti. Oh, actually, Ethereal just completely on his own. Big encore down into the back line. Another Asol ulti only hits one, but Pity is just free firing it now. He does have that Lord Down.
He's literally
gets everybody down in the front line, and just like that, they're able to completely flip this right back on them. Asol trying to go for it, but a bit of a risky spot. Pity jumps in, able to get him. Hail of Blades, trying to knock him down. It's not going to quite be enough to double. Oh, it actually does completely finish him off. All while this is happening, super minions are battering away on the Nexus towers of Yo Daddy. Potentially could be looking for a second inhib mid here if they want to go for that. We'll see.
TP.
Yeah, TP actually from Kumi. They might just try to end here with Asol being dead for 35. That's the majority of their wave clear and just base defense in general. We'll see if Stank can kind of try to pull off a miracle here with the Maokai and the Cassante as they respawn.
I feel like Pity's most of their damage. They can't just like cheese that bush that they were trying to do earlier. They only gave up 1 kill with the window going down.
Oh, Pity, you're in a dangerous spot, my friend. Ooh, able to jump out. Okay, good.
Yeah, Pity's able to like be a worm in these fights. It seems like, except that one fight where we don't touch like that.
Yeah, definitely a bit of a scary spot. We'll see if they want to keep chasing this. Pity is still here. He is a little bit low on mana. Oh, does get the extension off on the Encore. This is a nice jump. We'll see. Graves is coming in, but Asol able to melt down with Aphelios. Graves is actually in a bit of a trouble here. All out, brought completely under the tower. Oh, Karma does take the shutdown, though. Unfortunate for them there. Kumi able to flash out, but I think they're going to be able to chase this down. Yeah, Pity still is waiting to jump. He wants to go in here. This is a bit risky, jumping in 1v4 and completely taken down. Another shutdown, but Asol traded back on the backside. The super minions this entire time have just been beating down on Yo Daddy's base the whole time. They're actually going to lose both of their Nexus towers at this time. So even though, you know, Pity's Pirates giving a lot of gold back over, they have broken the base. It is still an open Nexus, so there's a lot of different angles that they could potentially go for here. They could go for a backdoor at the next Dragon spawn, or the Baron, which is coming up in a minute. It's so close because Asol is really close. He does have the Seraphs finished. He does have Large Rod, so I'm assuming he's going to be going... he's either going to go for Shadow Flame, or he's going for just straight Death Cap at this point. But he's at this point. He's at the point where he's pretty scaled. He's definitely pretty strong. He's got to that 3-item spike. Felios also at that 3-item point with the Last Whisper and Lord Noms completed. So he's gonna have a much easier time taking down that Mundo. But yeah, I think this is still on Pity's Pirates to lose at this point. They need to just be careful. Kind of the good and the bad of Tristana is knowing your limits and where you can kind of jump into to try to pick up these kills. So I think as long as they just keep playing front to back and with a little bit of a split angle like they've had in these past fights, they should be able to take this home. But we'll see if the scaling from Aphelios is going in.
Pity's got BT now. He can play a little more reckless.
Yeah, jumping in. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
Completely destroying Pity. Jumping in on the Cassante. He might try to get all out right here. Back into the base. This could be a little bit risky. He needs to flash away. Stank hit by the depth charge. Hook does land onto the Karma. Are they able to finish him off? Big Asol ulti into all of them with the Aphelios blue gun. Completely wiping the side of Pity's Pirates. And just when you think that they could secure it, it's just too much. Just a little bit too greedy again. Diving straight into the backline with Asol. You have to be careful when you're jumping with this Tristana.
Where's that back door? Go back door. Come on. Go threaten it. If they, because I feel like Yo Daddy is being Baron. how they want to do it. I feel like Rexhat, instead of counter jungling, you go contest the Baron or back.
I think he's going for the inhib bot lane. He could potentially look to end.
Oh.
Do you think Cassante has enough to actually stop him? He doesn't have all out, so he doesn't have that little extra piece of CC. I think he's just going to try to walk in. He should. I don't know why he's stopping at the inhib. He should just go straight to the base. Asol's going to TP back at this point. Okay. No, now you have to run. Now you have to run.
Do nothing, I guess.
Okay, well, does get the inhib. That's good. Mountain Soul is available, but he could potentially be chased down. Yeah, not going to quite have the right angle on the W to be able to keep chasing. Mountain Soul is available. That will help Pity's Pirates if they're able to secure that. Just be a little bit more survivable. There is a TP from the Kumi as well as Seraphine. So if anything opens up, I think with the double inhibs down, this should be at least enough map pressure to be able to secure this. It's 30 seconds. We'll see. Maokai is a bit far into his jungle here by himself. They got to be careful how they can test this. I mean, at this point now, it's kind of anyone's game. It's completely on East Pity and Rexcat to not jump in too far. They need to play these fights a little bit safer because Yo Daddy is giving them opportunities. They're giving them picks. They're just chasing too far. They're going in when they don't see the A-Soul, and they're just not
he's hiding.
playing around. Nautilus is here.
He's by himself. Hello. Where's your team?
Mountain Soul is up right now. They're going to try to rush this with the two of them. Kumi is still top, putting pressure down for that third inhib. I like how Nautilus is playing around here, just trying to stall them, trying to zone. Maokai ulti going down. Yep, that's a good depth charge to be able to secure that, and they're able to walk away with the Mountain Soul. So this will help them out now. Triple Mountain for the Mountain Soul, just being a little bit tankier, being a little bit more durable to try to hold off. But, I mean, at this point now, Collector, it looks like, is being built for the Aphelios as well, so he's going to be pretty strong. He's almost to 4 items. Death Cap completely finished for the A-Soul. 3 items now onto the Cassante, so... Yeah, exactly, and this is just going to come down to execution now. This is going to come down to execution of the players. It's pretty monkey macro until the Baron spawns in 4 minutes. Just kind of who gets picked by who first, and you know how that all goes. So, side of Yo Daddy does have the option to try to push out with Baron. I think they're mostly just going to spend their time clearing these super minions that are coming into their base, especially through bot lane. But ideally, there probably won't be a ton happening for the next 4 minutes. But knowing how these teams are going to play, I think they're just going to try to run at each other and kill them. They do find, oh, actually, that's just the wrong way. Sees them a little bit too late here. A-Soul is still bot. We'll see. I think that once Baron ends, Pity's Pirates could maybe try to force in the wave to try to hit the inhib. It's going to be hard if A-Soul is there because he effectively just stops every wave at this point from being put into the base. So I think they're going to need to try to find a pick if they really want to try to be able to push their tempo into here. Getting some good control here. They might try to bait out the Cassante, but I'm not sure if they're going to be strong enough. 4 items now. Ooh, Nautilus is actually a little bit too far away. Has to flash. Maokai ulti coming out. He needs to be careful. They're going to be funneling into this choke point right now. Oh, the hook does land on the side, but is he going to be able to get out?
Yeah, just walk away. Why did they just let him? Huh?
Stank uses Ghost there too, so that's one of his team fighting tools down. Only has the flash left. Man, at this point, it's really hard to tell because I think that they've kind of hit a bit of a brick wall with this A-Soul. It's really hard to actually be able to push in. I think the only thing they can look for, and this might be what they're going to try to do in bot side, I think they need to look for this A-Soul who's by himself clearing the waves, maybe look for a pick on him in the side lane, just try to get him out of the picture. Looks like Pity's going to be jumping in here, hitting some. Oh, flash actually by Karma going in here. Buster shot to knock the Karma away. Does get A-Soul chunked down, so yeah, as you can see, that just the full bomb combo with Tristana is able to take him below half health. So if he ever gets a chance, if he ever has his flash back up, that could potentially be game over right there.
Everyone's just playing on edge right now. No one wants to make a mistake. East Pity's jumping in.
Yeah, and wait, ulti coming down. That's the big ulti for A-Soul actually. Oh, flash in from Maokai, jumps in. Depth charge going onto A-Soul, but I don't think this is going to result in anything. I think it's more just for disengage. Stank trying to run down the Mundo, but good luck, brother, trying to kill him by yourself. He is just a bit too tanky. Does force him away with the flash now that A-Soul has come to back him up, but yeah, it's just kind of poking, prodding each other's, trying to figure out, you know, who's going to blink first at this point on both sides.
Yeah, whoever's going to make the mistake first, I feel like. I guess they're just all waiting for, like, objectives to, like, have a team fight. Because if they walk up too far, they're dead. But
yeah, Kuma,
oh my god.
Yeah, Okay.
That just okay. Just take away everything I just said and just kill yourself. I guess. Like just
Yeah.
walk in and kill yourself.
Yeah, I mean, he's at his point where he can kill the Mundo. I definitely think Kumi didn't realize that, Chakrum's hurt pretty bad right there. Aphelios can definitely just, take you down. You're not strong enough to kill him anymore. All you're really doing is farming the procs from your Heartsteel at that point, but that's pretty big. Him being dead, it's going to give a little bit more priority and time for YoDaddy to actually set up on the map now. All the inhibs have respawned, so they don't have to worry about anything coming in to potentially backdoor their base yet. Baron is spawning up in about 40 seconds, Elder in 2 minutes, so Baron is really going to be the big focus here. I'm curious to see how this is going to go, because Asol has been kind of just perma-farming this bot wave. He is at 509 Stardust right now. So he is effectively scaled at this point. He does not have any defensive utility. He doesn't have his Zonias or anything like that. He just has his flash to keep himself alive. But it looks like Pity's Pirates is actually just in position right now in the topside jungle, getting some vision down, which is good if they want to look for a pick. Pity is coming in from the base. We'll see how these guys want to go in here. It would be kind of interesting to see if Pity, instead of Ignite, had TP, if he would be able to side lane bot lane and potentially like threaten an end while the rest of the team kind of just hovers around Baron. But we'll see what they want to do here. Looks like Kumi is just going to run into bot lane here to kind of force their hand to make them figure out what they want to do at this point. Looks like Krabadabadoo is going to be recalling here to match that. Don't want to give over any free inhibs, but I think at this point it's kind of hard to say what exactly you should do. I think between Graves and Tristana, you have a very fast Baron. So if you ever do get a chance to be able to get that, that's really important. I think you do not want to be trading over Elder Dragon. Oh, Nautilus is just completely out of position here. Let's get the hook over the wall. That Mountain Soul able to keep him from losing any health really at that fight. So right now, I think you should just go straight. Yeah, go straight to Baron right here. Kumi just needs to run away. It looks like he is going to be able to successfully get away. Yep. So this is a free Baron.
Tristana's not helping them, I guess. Okay.
I mean, he was kind of looking for a thing here, but yeah, I mean, right now, I mean, if you're YoDaddy, you need to get to Elder right away. You need to get to this and start contesting it and just get in control, because you do not want to give over Elder and Baron. I think the game might just be over if they're able to get both of these. We'll see. Kumi is still in bot lane, though. He could be collapsed on. This is a bit risky, because I don't know. There's like 3 or 4 people. Nobody's going to walk in straight here.
How illegal is that?
They're going to start the Elder here now. Maokai is on it. Maokai ulti does go down. Asol's on the side. He's going to get depth charged. I don't know if he's going to get hooked. Yeah, he's going to get hooked. Killed by Pity right here, and the Encore taken down. And this is pretty huge. Aphelios is the only one, but he's got so many chakrams taking him down. And how are they going to reassess this fight? Kumi is on the back right now. TP from Krabadabadoo coming in. Aphelios is by himself, though. There is no Encore. There is no Tristana left, and I think they could potentially just take this Elder Dragon on its own. I don't know if you really want to come back and contest this unless you're 100% sure you can kill them. Everyone is pretty low. Big collateral damage to try to get some poke down, but I think Stank can just hard wipe this if they get any CC onto them. Gonna look to all in them. Doesn't quite take them all the way over. Gets the flash out from Graves. They're gonna be able to kite this out. He is not super tanky, but Aphelios goes in. He's gonna take him down. Kumi is in the base though right now. He is taking very many. All they have to do is stall out. Are they going to be able to do this? Kumi is hitting the base while they're trying to finish it. Nobody is coming back to this. Pirates are coming to
the back door! Kick it, Chad! Oh my god, what an ending. What an ending. What an ending. What the heck?
My goodness.
Remember when you said Tristana should have been in the side lane? Nah, we need Kumi in the side lane.
They just completely lost track of him. Kumi was there at the Baron. He kind of just walked around a little bit and said, you know what? I'm going to go to the base myself. I go where I please. And while escorting that in, nobody was able to get off the Elder. That is like the one risk I will say about having Baron and Elder up when you have an open Nexus. It's really easy to just walk into the base when there are so many high-value objectives on the map. So yeah, Pity's
Pirates kind of got baited by winning the fight, so they all thought they were safe. Just
yeah, definitely. They definitely didn't think Mundo would have the damage to be able to go for that. He did TP to the wave, so he was able to find a little opportunity to sneak past them there at that point. But Pity's Pirates able to come back and even up that series 1-1. So for now, both of them stay tied in the standings. But I mean, that was really, really close. Bongo Cat and Stank were so close. They were both really scaled and had all their items.
Yeah.
Just were not able to finish it off at the end, just getting picked right before the Elder and letting them kind of walk right into the base. So I think that will probably do it for us. That was a very back and forth series. Another 37-minute plus game coming down to the wire right there.
You know what I've learned?
what
I've
have you-
learned that you just say 1-1 to every prediction. I got it all figured out.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think unless like everyone is gone on a team, I don't think we're ever going to see a 2-0. Maybe someone else in this league has already gotten a 2-0 today, and I just don't know about it. I haven't looked yet. We'll have to see.
That.
Oh, who's the team that got the 2-0?
The Black Chef.
Let's go! My prediction was right there too. All right, so
Ooh.
Black Chef taking a commanding lead of 1 game over everybody.
Is the other series done? No, it's just this one and the other one. I guess the third one is going on still.
Yeah.
I know, but we're just talking about it live. Okay. Okay, now that we're still live, I can now say that.
Mm-hmm. Want to finish that?
No, I'm good.
All right. And with that, I think that will probably do it for the second week of EDL. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll be back next week, Friday, with another very exciting stream. Hopefully, we can get a 2-0 on the stream from one of these teams. But so far,
Hopefully
these
we
teams.
can get Itaconic game too.
Yeah, hopefully Itaconic will come back from the grocery store as well. Maybe he'll bring us the milk that he promised to do in between games. But yeah, with that, we'll be signing off. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Obongo. I've been here with Solar Rain and Ida only for 1 game. But we will see you guys next week. Thank you so much for watching.